I'll tell you why. Stardust. Listen, and they're going to get so mad and they clip this and they play this. It's because my last name is Alex Stein.
Apparently Alex Stein and Ethan Ralph got into a fight. And this all starts because Ali Jamal, who is a groiper, I believe, showed up at Alex Stein's comedy show. So in this, Ali Jamal calls into Ethan Ralph's Killstream and talks about how he went to Alex Stein's comedy show.
He got mad at me yesterday because I live streamed his event, so how sad.
Well, why were you not supposed to do that? Or like, I didn't know. By the way, I didn't.
Why is he even volunteering? I didn't know here.
I didn't tell you to do anything. Don't try to use my name as in I put you up to that.
Okay, I won't.
Well, I didn't. Now did I? Don't act like I did. I didn't know what the fuck you were gonna do.
And then the screenshots of the DMs are here. I did not send that blank to your show, by the way, but he will be at Ralphomania to berate. LOL. By the way, my phone is broke. I'm gonna get it fixed. Wanted to message here. Dude, he said he was there for you. Yeah, he's a moron. We bring on the show for laughs. LOL. I joked about him being my protege, and he goes around telling people that, like, it's for real. I yelled at him tonight and went off. I was like, WTF, man, they probably think I sent your dumb ass.
Can you hear me? No,
I can hear you now. Oh, yeah. That looked nice. That sounded nice. No?
Is it this mic?
Yeah, it's that mic, yeah.
Yeah, because it was going through my Bluetooth mic. Okay, so now you can hear me good. Sorry. What program is this, Stardust? This is epic. I like this. What is this? What do you use for guests?
It's Whereby. Let me just check something really quick. Make sure that it's going through. Yeah, can you speak a little bit for me?
Red leather, yellow leather. You know you need unique New York.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. All right, I think chat can hear you.
Okay.
So yeah, we just finished watching everything that happened. We watched Ali Jamal call into Ethan. I think, honestly, I'm going to be real with you. All of the people in my chat voted that Ethan definitely looked guilty of sending Ali Jamal to your...
He sent them there. Come on, Stardust. They know. See, this is the thing is these guys, these America First guys, I'm not saying all groypers are bad. A lot of groypers I actually like, and I'm sure, you don't feel that way. You're probably really anti.
No. I like some of them. I do like some of them, yeah.
Okay, so my point is, listen, I was friendly with Baked Alaska, and because I had to reschedule his podcast 2 different times, he did a 3-hour Alex Stein Fest where he just talked about me. So that's what started it. So that's what started me with Cozy TV. That's what started all the groypers. And I'm sure you're familiar. Like I said, not all groypers are bad. Some groypers are cool. I'm friends with some groypers. Some are terrible, disgusting pedophiles that are caught with all kinds of disgusting child pornography, like the Latino Zoomer groyper. So some of them aren't good. That's like every group. Some people are good. Some people are bad. But what I'm starting to learn is that Baked Alaska, he gets so mad. So now I start a fight with him. And then I go on Ethan Ralph's stream, and that's when I'm yelling at Loomer and I'm yelling at Baked. I'm calling him a fed because, he even admitted that he was being charged with a felony and that in order to get a lesser sentence, he would have to tell on people or they would have to use his footage in order to incriminate other people, which they did, which is, that's just that's just a fact that he admitted to. So I started calling him a fed. Well, because of that, because when you are a fed and you get called out, they sent the whole groyper army on me. So I had Ralph pretending to be my fake friend, and they have this wrestling event in Philadelphia. I couldn't remember, Atlantic City, Philadelphia, somewhere like that, outside of New Jersey. And basically, I was just going to go there. I wasn't going to go wrestle a girl, and I could never find a girl because it's like some kind of weird event or whatever. And then I was like, yeah, I'll still go after the Baked Alaska thing because I was like, oh, I'll go kind of fight with the groypers.
Yeah.
But then I see Ali Jamal at my show, and Ali Jamal's like, yeah, I'm here for Ethan Ralph. I'm his protege. I'm here to get content. So I'm kind of like, all right. And I just send one text, and you can see these texts. Ethan Ralph shared it.
Yeah, we looked at them. Yeah.
I'm like, you sent? He's like, no, I didn't send. Okay. First of all, that's when I knew he lied because Ali Jamal I said that. I'm saying I heard from the source, from Ali Jamal, that he's there for you, Ralph. And then he sends his text. I was like, yeah, you guys can just go to the event. I'm not going to go to the event anymore. And he's like, immediately sends you that text back like, oh, then I'm going to bury you. I'm going to bury you. I'm like, okay, Ralph. See, I'm the type of person, if I don't dislike somebody, I'm not going to like, quote unquote, bury them, go after them. I had no beef with Ethan. I'm just
it's so
upset
strange. Yeah, he basically said, oh, if that's the case, I'm gonna light your ass up or something like that, right? Like, why?
Exactly right. I said, bring it up, but I'll tell you why. Stardust, listen, and they're gonna get so mad and they clip this and they play this. It's because my last name is Alex Stein. And these people believe a Jewish Illuminati is the reason that they have any problems in life. And they truly believe, these actually people, and that's not all groypers. I'm not talking about all groypers, because anti-Semitism is real. Now, do I believe that the government artificially inflates how bad it is? Yeah, sure. Yeah. Do I think that, I think all Semitism, isms, all racism is overblown by the media. So I'm not just trying to say that anti-Semitism doesn't exist. I think it does. My point is, these people, because my last name is Stein, and because they hate Jewish people so much, they liked me because they thought they were on my team. They thought that we were on the same team. So they gave me a pass. Like, even though I'm not Jewish, even though I've never been to bar mitzvah, and my grandfather is Jewish, never met my grandfather. My dad met my grandfather twice, was never raised by him. And technically you're not a Jew unless your mom's Jewish. My whole point is, I'm not against you. If I was a Jew, I'd say, hey, I'm Jewish. I had a bar mitzvah. Yeah. They are so anti-Semitic because my last name is Stein that they kind of have to dislike me. Does that make sense, Stardust? Yeah. Like for them, if all of a sudden, if their whole content is that Hitler is great, we love Hitler, Hitler's so good, Hitler's so good. But then, oh, well, let's go retweet a guy with the last name Stein, or let's go support a guy named Stein. No. Oh, and then this is the thing. They always share this picture of me in a women's bathing suit at an event I had, and there's a kid at the event. And they're like, oh, you're dressing naked in front of kids. First of all, that kid's parents was able to tell them they're there for the event. What I was doing is wrong, that men shouldn't be dressing up as women. But also, I'm not even against trans people. I don't care if a man dresses up as a woman. I just don't like drag queen story time. I'm saying these people are like, oh, you're a Jewish cross-dresser, gay, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, they just come at me with all this stuff. And I'm like, dude, a month ago, Baked, you were begging me to come on your podcast. Ethan, you were begging me, asking me to pay my own way to be basically the biggest name at your wrestling event. And because I won't go there on my own dime because you're coming here and trying to sabotage my comedy show with your agent provocateurs, you're going to get mad at me. They never liked me, Stardust. I'm saying they acted like they liked me. And this is where go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say they're mad about what your content was at the stand-up routine, but I feel like anything is like free. It's a free for all with stand-up, right? Like you can't limit who you're making fun of or what you're making fun of, right?
Of course, and it's not even about that. And I don't even care really that he was streaming it. It's just the fact that he was going there to try to like cause drama, but that's what I don't like. It's like I honestly I would have streamed the whole show myself, and I'm going to edit and post clips. It's not that I'm like trying to keep it a secret. It's like I don't like a guy. This is the thing. Yeah. AOC, I like more than Dan Crenshaw, even though I'm conservative, even though I'm more conservative. And you're like, why would you like AOC more than Dan Crenshaw? At least AOC is honest. She's like, I'm a liberal. I love socialism. This is what I stand for. Dan Crenshaw's like, oh, I'm a conservative. I'm America first. Yet he votes to kick out service members that aren't vaccinated. He does nothing to protect the southern border here in America. And he votes to send all this money to Ukraine. So I like AOC, who says, oh, I'm going to vote no on the omnibus bill. I'm going to say, no, I don't want to give a $1.7 trillion to the Ukraine when I know my American brothers and sisters are struggling. But Dan Crenshaw, a guy that's quote unquote conservative, even though he's on our side, I'm saying it's worse to get cheated on by your wife than it is by a girl you just met. So that's why it's just more annoying. It's like your own side coming after you, quote unquote.
I can definitely relate to that. Appreciating the honesty of people. I think I appreciate honesty out of people more than I appreciate how much on my side they are. Right? Because I've dealt with a lot of people who are on my side who are like directly sabotaging me or sabotaging what I'm trying to do. I did have some questions from chatters. So one of them wanted to ask, Alex, can you give us your best thoughts on what prison will be like for Baked Alaska? Which you don't think he's going to prison, right?
No, he is. He is for
Yeah,
for
okay.
macing. He's
Oh.
going to jail not for January 6th. He maced a bouncer. He you got to watch the clip. I've just seen it a second
Yeah.
of it, but
Yeah.
you type in baked Alaska mace, and he was like at a bar and he maced a bouncer. I guess the bouncer wouldn't let him go in the bar, and they called the cops. He got arrested. So he's going to jail for that, for assault.
Oh wow.
So he's trying to like skew it like he's just going to jail. Oh, it's all January
Yeah.
6th. No, he's going to jail for that charge, and they charge him 75 days. I believe, or 90 days. He's usually going to have to do half the sentence. So he's going to be fine in jail. I'm in the bail bond business. Listen, I'll be honest. I mean, if you're going to you're doing like a 10-year sentence or something, I mean, you're screwed.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do a short sentence, he'll be able to go in there and,
Yeah.
Probably make a friend and not, they always say you're going to get butt raped and all that stuff. No, that's not. I mean, it's possible. I mean, anything is possible. But if he goes to kind of like a, low level security prison, he's not just going to walk in and drop the soap and get butt raped, but he's going to suck. His life's going to suck. He's going to be eating commissary. He's going to be eating jail food. He's literally going to be eating ramen noodles with with chopped up sausage. And that's going to be the best meal he's had. He's going to be like, oh, this is so good. I'm eating. They make prison burritos. Have you ever seen those TikToks where they make prison food? Stardust?
I haven't seen the TikToks. No, I need to take a look at those.
Okay, everybody in the chat, go look up prison food TikToks. It shows how they fry stuff in prison. It shows how they make burritos, and they are the most disgusting recipes. Stardust. So tonight, you look up on TikTok or Instagram, type in prison recipes. There's a couple of them. Like there's a couple pages. That's what there is, like prison chef or whatever, and they show you how they make it in prison, or there'll be footage from people with the cell phones inside prison, and they'll get like ramen noodles, sausage. My point is, they take all the crappy food from the commissary and they put it in like a burrito, and they're like, this is the best food ever. So he's going to eat like shit. He's going to have no privacy. He's going to have to poop in front of men. He's going to have to pee in front of men. He's going to have to masturbate in front of men. He's going to have to do everything, zero privacy for, a few months, and it'll be fine. But he's not going to have to do anything for January 7th because he told on people. He was charged with a felony. He was in Nancy Pelosi's office on her phone. Trust me. He's a well-known streamer. The government wants to use him as an example. And the only reason that they're not is because they feel that he's more valuable ratting on all the people that he's connected to.
Yeah.
So it's just obvious that you'd be charged with a felony, but somehow he's only charged with a misdemeanor.
Did you hear him trying to debate Bro, his judge, on his on like him thinking he was innocent and all of that? It was hilarious.
Well, I didn't hear that clip, but real quick, because I want you to give me the context on it, because I just from what I heard, there was some of the judges like, do you admit that you're guilty? And he's like, I'm not guilty, right? Isn't that what he said?
Yeah, he said, I don't think I'm guilty. I just took it because I wanted, I wanted the plea bargain or something like that. And then the judge was like, well, if you don't think you're guilty, if you think you're innocent, we'll mark it as you think you're innocent. And
let's go trial by jury.
Yeah. And he seemed a little bit flustered, but it was very funny.
That's because the prosecutor and his attorney are like, no, Banks, we already have a deal. You already have a deal. You can't say you're not guilty. Part of the deal is you say that if they say it's either called a no contest or you plead guilty. I'm not exactly sure how it works in his federal case, but in a lower level, what happens is you'd plead no contest. And then if you conclude your probation without getting any, order or any more arrests or any violation of your probation, then it's a no contest, and it's basically not a not guilty, but it's like a kind of like a dismissed. But in his case, he should have been charged with a felony. He got charged with a misdemeanor. That's because he gave them information. So that's why it's like, dude, and I don't mean to call you dude, but all these groupers that are still defending him, it just makes me wonder, because I don't want any January 6th person to go to jail, but how much denial can these people be in when you know that they're a fad, like that they're tattletales, that these people aren't good, and you're still supporting them? It's just the cognitive dissonance blows my mind. Yeah,
no, it really does. And I know that I think they like all of the dissident right turned on Spencer when they thought he was a Fed immediately, right? Because he it seemed like he had gotten off easy for the stuff in Charlottesville. So it makes no sense to me that they would go so easy on Baked Alaska if they think he's getting off easy. Even though it's clearly two different things, but it's still like, if you feel like somebody's getting a deal for ratting people out, we've seen people in the dissident right get eviscerated for it. Yeah.
It seems like I don't know. I don't know how all these guys are like, oh, it's a Jewish Illuminati, Jewish Illuminati.
Yeah.
That's just, and it's not even.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to say that they're all anti-Semitic, but my point is, it's not one group of problems. If you're watching these guys, you're your own worst enemy. And I know there's externalities that cause you, nature versus nurture that makes your life more challenging. But you are the author of your own autobiography. It's not some guy in Israel. So you are the one that needs to take accountability for your own life. And this is the other thing. For somebody watching this, life is not fair. I'm not an expert, but I've had bad stuff happen to me. And that's just how it goes. That's just how the cookie crumbles. So for all the people out there that want to blame some evil villain or some evil secret group, I'm not even saying that group doesn't necessarily exist, but you can't blame them for all your problems. The only person you can blame for your problems is yourself, because you have to overcome all the obstacles that life throws your way. That's just how life works.
I agree. Yeah. Somebody in chat wants to ask, Alex, hear me out. Do a competing comedy special live stream during Ralphomania to raise funds for Baked Alaska's commissary fund.
Okay, I like that. That's a good troll. I mean, I guess I could do some sort of counter thing, but listen, this is the thing. Okay, Stardust, and this is why I like you. Even though you and I ideologically we don't align on a lot of stuff, but I like you, like we said earlier, because you're honest. But this is the problem: is that I was friends with these people, and not all of them are bad. But Ralph is a ex-convict, convicted sex. He shared a revenge porn. He got a girl pregnant. He's never even seen his own kid. He's fighting with his current wife's family. I'm just saying, he's a scumbag for all intents and purposes. He is a scumbag on paper. He couldn't even get a job at a McDonald's. They would look at his record. They'd say, sir, you're not qualified to flip hamburgers here. Luckily, he can go on the internet and e-bag. Anybody can do that. And sadly, he's been shut down from every platform except for Cozy. So if it wasn't for Cozy, he would really be struggling. So for me, I'm not going to fight with Ethan. Ethan's going to hang himself. He's been hanging himself his whole entire life. So Ethan is his own worst enemy. As a matter of fact, I like Ethan. Hey, you guys over here, go support Ethan, because I'm empathetic to him, because I know that he's hanging on by a thread. And when you weigh 500 pounds, and I'm a heavy guy myself, one thread's not going to hold on that long. I'm saying I'm not a thin guy. Well, one thread wouldn't hold me very long. So I know it's not going to hold Ralph. So I'm just going to let them. And this is the same with Big. I don't even want to fight with these guys. I want to come here. I want to address it with you because you're into the, this is the internet drama, and I get it. But I'm done. I'm done with this internet drama. I'm not going to do a counter event, Ethan Ralph. So I just don't care. I'm not better than that. I'm not better than anybody. But I'm over it. I'm over that corner of the internet. I'm moving to a different direction.
For sure. I just have to say, I learned about the revenge porn tape tonight. And I'm very unhappy to have learned about it. I actually learned about it when I was watching you talking with Kino Casino, and they went into the nitty gritty. I can't believe a judge had to rule on that tape. So my night has been ruined by that tape. But
did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. Just hearing the details.
Oh, Ralph has this micro penis, and it's gross. I went and had to go see it, of course. So the girl's like back, and he has this little wiener, and it's going in, and it's like imagine if hell was a pornography. I mean, it's not even porn. I mean, this is a disjustice to porn. It makes me not want to have sex. It makes me, as a matter of fact, that's probably where they show this. They probably show this to a lot of the American First people. They show Ethan Ralph's sex tape, and they say, this is what sex looks like. You should be an incel. Because if you see sex, if you watch that 15-second clip of Ethan Ralph's micro penis going into that girl's vagina, it would scare you from having sex because it was so disgusting. I mean, his belly was so big, and I have a big belly myself, but the angle in which he shot it was so unflattering. It is the most disgusting sexual thing I've ever seen on the internet. And I've seen German porn where I've seen 2 girls, 1 cup where they ate poop. And that 2 girls, 1 cup had more dignity, more grace, and more class than Ethan Ralph's 15-second sex tape.
My God. Okay, so somebody wanted to ask, would you physically fight Ethan Ralph? I'm guessing the answer is no.
I mean,
you would?
I don't want to go to jail, but Ethan's like, he's a short guy. He looks like a walking, he looks like the Penguin. What is it from Batman? Which Batman was that? Danny DeVito, but I forget which Batman that was.
Danny DeVito's my inspiration. He's like my body goals, basically. But
Well, he's bigger than Danny DeVito, but I'm just saying height wise, it'd be like I would be punching down. And listen, I will box any of these guys. I mean, if they want to come and we want to set up a real boxing match, I do. I don't want to necessarily get in a street fight and get arrested just because that's against the law. And I I don't want to get arrested. I have stuff to lose. I mean, I got to deal with the Blaze. I got stuff coming up. I don't want to be, these guys are all ex-convicts. I don't want to be an ex-convict. So I try to, you know, I guess be on my best behavior.
You've probably seen that personally, since you said you're a bail bondsman, that you've probably seen how that ruins people's lives pretty personally. So
once you get in the system, you're stuck in the system. And that's the problem for these people like Baked and Ethan. I'm just saying, once you get in it once, then you have something on your record, and then, you know, something comes up like Ethan right now. You know, he's running away in Mexico right now. You know that, right? He's on the run.
I really thought it was a meme until he started posting things about Mexico on he like himself started admitting it and posting things about Mexico, the area that he's in, trying to brag about how safe it is. And I really thought it was a meme. I really did. I thought
no, he's in Mexico running away because he has, and so it's like, am I really going to worry about this guy, his own? And then this is what I saw on the internet today, and it's so disgusting. And I and they better not do this. They better not.
Yeah.
Ethan is fighting with his fiance's dad, so his father-in-law, future father-in-law. And I didn't see the tweet, but somebody told me that I was talking to earlier that this guy has Ethan Ralph's mom's ashes. And that he's so mad at Ethan that they might do something to his mom's ashes. Now, that's disgusting. They better not touch those ashes. But that is just a little example, like a small window. I'm saying we're looking through the little keyhole. And it's like, I'm just saying, if I just peek into their whole thing, and they're trading dead woman's ashes in order to get at somebody, in order to get a W or get an L. Like, these people are sick. Even my own, the person that I think is responsible for my own mom's death, I wouldn't want them dead. I know that sounds crazy. And I would always thought that different, because when you see those court movies where like a guy will be like, they'll be like talking to the drunk driver and be like, you were drunk and you killed my whole family and I forgive you. Have you ever seen those? You know, like where there's a weird court situations where you're like, why would you forgive them? They killed your family. But there's just something about, it's like, you do have to forgive these person, because it's just better to forgive than to just fill up your heart with hate. And that sounds cliche, and that sounds anecdotal, and that sounds a little gay. I'll be honest, but I'm telling you, it's gay in a good way. I'm saying it's not. When you hold that animosity towards somebody, it's like a cancer. It's like a negative thing. So then that gets spread out to your other friends. So that's why it's like Ethan is fighting with all these people that he knows. And so as soon as I'm like, him and I have like no little beef, I'm like, I just don't want to go to your event anymore. It's like, F you, I'm going to bury you, I'm going to burn you. It's because that's how he handles every friendship that he deals with. He can't just have a disagreement. Like Stardust, I said this earlier, you and I don't align ideologically. I would consider you a friend. I would do a favor for you. I don't have to agree with
you. Consider you too,
Yeah, I'm saying I don't have to agree with somebody 100% to be their friend. I wouldn't expect you to agree with me. I'm insane. Like,
I mean, I'm insane too. So, but I totally get that, and I think I have like lots of friends who are across the political aisle. And it's really about like, what kind of judgment are you making when you know somebody has your mother's ashes and you still are continuing to provoke them and say horrible things and trying to get reactions out of them, and you know that they have your mother's ashes. That's nuts to me. I would never do that. And I mean, to even leave them there, right? And
I would never know. I have my mom's ashes. Listen how crazy I am. I'm saying everywhere I go, my mom's ashes are right. This is how disgusting. I keep my mom's ashes next to my computer desk. And you're like, oh, why don't you have it in some big urn? I'm like, no. I'm like the Big Lebowski. I just wanted it when it came in, whatever I already paid for. But this is my point. Ethan is not a good person. And I was empathetic to him, and I showed empathy because I felt like, listen, I'm a flawed person. I want to be nice to this guy. He's kind of nice to me. And that was the first mistake I ever made, was trying to make friends with somebody that is just not a good person. And that's just what's going to happen on this internet. And there's a lot of not good people. And I'm not saying I'm some good person, but by me getting involved in this internet drama, he just gets attention. I don't benefit at all, because then he brings me down. I'm punching down. If I want to go get a fight, I want to fight with AOC or Dan Crenshaw, congressmen, senators, people that are own companies, freaking Dave Portnoy. I'm not here to fight with a guy that has a cozy channel of 700 people watching him on a stream. I just don't care about that. It's not worth it to me.
Yeah. So I have a few more questions from my audience, if you don't mind.
No worries.
Yeah, so only Mr. Bill says, what group plays the part of victim the best, do you think?
Oh, I mean, that's a really good question. See, that's the other problem that we have as a society that I think like left or
Mhm.
right, it's like that participation trophy kind of society. It's like
Mhm.
I said this earlier, life is not fair. So everybody wants to be a victim. And I would argue this as I say this, I would argue that every single person that's ever been born has been a victim to something that has been bad. I think every single person could find an excuse for something in their life, unless you're like Bono's daughter, and even being some huge celebrity's daughter, Nepo baby. I read some article about Nepo babies. That's still kind of a hard burden to live with. And a lot of those people are on drugs. So my point is, anybody can be a victim, some more than others. So you have to make a conscious effort to say, am I going to let these bad things that were out of my control ruin my life? Or am I going to take accountability and try to change that? That's the thing, is people worry about the things we can't control. I'm done doing that. And so who plays the victim the most, to answer the question? I mean, overall, I think the left plays the victim the most, but I mean, this is the thing. Once you go far left and go far right, they almost start to meet. It's so weird.
Horseshoe theory is real. It is so real. I can't believe it. It's so bad.
Because Donald Trump is the biggest victim in the world. And I tend to agree. Like, I think he was a victim of some stuff. But all Donald Trump does is, like, I want Donald Trump to be like, I was a victim, but I'm coming back, instead of being like, you know, I was robbed. Yes, I actually agree, but it doesn't matter. You were robbed. You got to move on. It's just, that's the way it goes. Like in a football game, there's times when the ref calls pass interference and they shouldn't have called it, and you lose the game. You don't quit the game. You got to go keep playing. You got to go play next week. So it's just the way it is.
It's the same thing with Al Gore. When Al Gore was going around claiming that he was cheated out of the election, I think everybody got sick of him pretty quickly when he, when he wouldn't drop it. Like libs and Republicans got really upset with him.
And he was probably right. But I'm saying he probably did get it stolen. I mean, Gore probably did. You know, there's all these hanging chads and whatever. But my point is, though, you can scream and play the victim all you want. That's good for a little bit. Like Carrie Lake, she played the victim. She lost her court case. She's got to move on. Even though we know, even if the facts in the case, a judge should have gone in her favor. I'm saying shoulda, woulda, coulda, woulda, blada, blada, could have gone this. That's not the way it went. So it sucks. But you got to drop it and move on.
Yeah. Another question is Ralph using a kid with autism for his gain, regarding Ali Jamal?
Yes. And Ali Jamal, this is the other thing. It's like I was a peer tutor in high school. I don't know if you know, if people are familiar with that, where like you'd have to like go to I would do it for 2 periods a day with this guy, Rodrigo, and I would go to him for lunch, and then we'd go to like his, special needs class with Diana Hudson. And sometimes the autistic kids would like do something perverted or something, and like Diana Hudson, she'd like get mad at him, and I'd be like, wow, like, her getting at this like literal retarded person. But she's like, no, Alex, this is what you have to do. So my point to all that is, like, these people are pretending to be nice to Ali or whatever, but they're trolling him this whole time. And it's going to end up being where they're going to be like, it's just going to end up being very bad for Ali, because they're literally using an autistic person. And it's going to be like, this is what I worry about, is that it's going to be like, Ali, I used to be very nice to you. Then he comes to my comedy show, he's doing stuff. So I'm like, F you, Ali. And I would have helped this young kid. My point is, he's going to, because he is autistic and because he's going to get humiliated by these people that don't care about him. That, first of all, these are all people that I'm sure they love him because he's, Middle Eastern, or I don't even know if he's Indian. I'm sure all the people there love that. Yeah. But if he's too autistic to realize that they're trolling him. So what I'm worried about is in the future is that he is going to, and I'm not saying this is Ali, but a person that's autistic and is radicalized by people on the internet that are trolling him, that he could do something bad one day. He's the type of person that would go shoot something up or do something because he's autistic and he's not based in reality. So that's why I don't like that they're using an autistic kid and weaponizing them. I get that you got to be firm to a person that's autistic, and there's a way to like kind of handle them and help them. Yeah. But what these people are doing to them by pretending to be his fake friend and making him do their dirty work, it's going to end up really bad for Ali Jamal. And I'm very empathetic to that. I feel very sorry for him that they're going to do that to him.
Yeah, I'm actually, that you bring that up, that's an excellent point. I'm really concerned about that, because it's very evident when he's talking with Ethan that Ethan doesn't want him to say that he sent him there. And he gets really, really mad about it. And it also is super evident that they're just messing with him, right? At the beginning of it, they're really messing with him. Like, oh, are you saying that people from Texas are gay? And then he's freaking out about that, saying, no, I disavow, and then yeah, I just feel
Well,
bad for the guy.
have you not seen?
So.
And so there's this left wing journalist here in Texas called Stephen Monticelli, and so Allie goes to a lot of the protests and stuff that I go to. So I'm going to see Allie again. Like I said, I'm going to be nice to Allie. I mean, he's annoying, but I don't have any hate. I actually want him to succeed, for whatever that means. I don't want him to keep trolling me or showing up to my events like being weird and autistic and freaking people out. But I guess my whole point with Ali Jamal is I just think that that's going to end so bad for him. And there's this guy, Steve Monticelli, this left-wing journalist, where he took one of his streams and they cut out all the anti-Semitic stuff that Ali Jamal was saying. And he's saying K-I-K-E. He's saying all this, which is whatever. If you're anti-Semitic, you can do that. That's fine. But he's an autistic person that doesn't realize the words that he's saying are disgusting. It's not just like you're gay and you're ugly. It's not unless like, not that those are good things to say to somebody. That I would understand. But he's saying like really bad stuff, and he's autistic. He doesn't realize what he's doing, and these are the ones he's hearing it from Ethan Ralph. He's hearing all these people say Stein is a Jew, and he's not smart enough to realize, oh, this is not the way more normal people act.
He's not. Somebody wants to ask, did you know Baked has an immediate family member who is a staffer to a congressman before, during, and after January 6th?
Well, I found this out. There's pictures of him with Ray Epps 2 months before he was with him in at the Capitol on January 6th. And then he's with it. He's with footage where he's like, with Ray Epps talking about going in. There's something weird about Baked Alaska, guys. And he was on BuzzFeed as this like leftist guy. There's a video of
that was strange.
Of him. I know. And there's a video of him talking about if he had to go gay, which celebrities he would go gay with.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, there's something weird about Baked. Not that he's gay, that's fine. I don't care that he's gay, but there's something weird where like he's like always trying to fit in. He's always like a chameleon. One day he's liberal, the next day, and people can change, but the way he does it, the way he's like, one day he has a mullet, next day he's like pit vipers, and I haven't seen the whole trajectory of Baked Alaska, but I guess he's like always trying to fit into whatever he thinks is the cool thing at the time. And he's like he's basically like a 35-year-old hype beast, which is not a good thing to be.
So I guess I would ask what got you into kind of like trolling, I guess? Like what was the first trolling thing you did?
Well, it was totally dumb. I mean, I started a podcast. I don't know if you know my story, but I was supposed to be the host of a TV show called Cheaters, where we catch people cheating on their husbands and wives. And when they came to hire me, April 2020, right when the pandemic was starting, they hired this guy, Peter Pankey. He's like a 52-year-old DJ from New York, like this like cool black guy, totally different than me, right? And then they changed his name. His name was Peter Guns. And they changed his name to Peter Pankey because they didn't want any, gun worship or whatever. They didn't want to glamorize guns, so they had him change his name. And that's when I was like, and they wanted me to continue to work on the show as a producer. And I said, no, I'm done. Another guy from Cheaters was like, you should do a podcast. And that's when I started my Conspiracy Castle podcast, talking about all kinds of crazy stuff, moon landing, whatever. This is what happens. I was like, I'm going to go speak at the Dallas City Council. And that's really when my trolling started. I spoke seriously. They didn't pay attention. And then when I noticed, and I've told this story a million times, when I started acting goofy and they started getting embarrassed, Stardust, I was like, holy crap, why does this city council, why are they so embarrassed? Like, why are they so nervous? Why are they so serious? And then I realized, because these people have to be ultra serious. So if I go there and act like a goofball, it makes them feel uncomfortable. And as a matter of fact, you got to look up this. People are like, oh, Alex, what you're doing, it's counterproductive. I want you guys to type in Alex Stein, Hawaii City Council meeting. There's an ABC 8. They did a whole thing about how I shut down a meeting in Hawaii, and I was like, oh, you bunch of dumb Hawaiians. And it was viral. The ABC did a story about it. And then they asked him, well, what did he do to the meeting? And he goes, oh, well, I don't want to give Alex clout, but he helped the meeting. He haven't said he helped the meeting. He helped him come together, because there's something about public speaking is most people's biggest fear. It even ranks, public speaking actually ranks as a bigger fear than dying for a lot of people. So just imagine that. I mean, that doesn't even make sense if you think about that. So the idea that publicly speaking and standing up for yourself, a lot of people don't want to do it. And when I started to do that, as a goofball, that's when the trolling, and that's when I started to get, all the attention. And so that's where it kind of just spiraled to, these people take themselves so ultra seriously. If you just go and make fun of them, you make kind of a mockery of them because they make a mockery of us. People like it. So it was almost like accidental.
I bet you inspired a lot of people and got a lot of confidence in a lot of people who weren't going to speak previously.
Yes, because people, when I go there and act like a fool, people are so scared to go up there and publicly speak. They're nervous. So when I go do that, it takes all of that pressure off them.
Yeah.
Like, well, I can't do as bad as this guy did. And so other people go,
Yeah.
seriously, they'll go and speak. Oh, I can't be as
Yeah.
embarrassing as this guy. So that's where it helps people. And I'm telling you, listen, I love that I signed a deal with the Blaze. I love that I, have a big channel. I got all these likes and subscribers. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, I don't like that. I want that. I worked hard for that.
Yeah.
But when people tell me that I went, I spoke at my city council meeting, I went, I spoke at my, school board meeting because I saw your video. That makes me feel so good. A girl named Lindsey Graham, my friend, she goes by Patriot Barbie. She had a huge viral moment where she dressed like a cat. She's like, she saw me for the first time, and her and her friend, she's like, are you mad at me? I'm like, no, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy because she did this. She went on Gutfeld. She went on all these fucks. She's like, are you mad? I was like, are you kidding? No, I'm so happy. I want everybody. I'm not the first person to go act goofy at a city council meeting. I want everybody to go stand up for themselves. And you're like, Alex, what does it matter? What does it matter in my little city? It matters most at the lower level. You can invoke change at the lower level way more efficiently than you can at the upper level. So it is important. Nothing's too small. And if you're not going to stand up for yourself, nobody else is going to stand up for you.
I agree with you. I think that something that people really overlook is local politics. And getting involved in local politics is so important. You can influence so much change on a local level, and that that will eventually trickle up, right? It'll eventually trickle up to the higher, but if you have to know your own community and know the people who represent you and go and speak to them. So
and Stardust, and this could be I could be a total failure. But so because of all my viral success now and all this crazy stuff, I'm gonna run, and I'm gonna announce it because January 18th is the filing date. But I'm gonna run for. I was gonna run for mayor to do a trolling campaign. I was gonna do maybe go after the mayor, but I hired a campaign consultant. Can't believe I did this, and I'm running for school board at my local school district where I went to high school, where I graduated from. And so I might lose, I might win, who knows? But my whole point is because I started speaking at these small meetings because I go and I speak out a lot against, I think, the sexual indoctrination of children, I can go and now I might be a school board member, and that's not president of the United States. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm some big deal. But I kind of want to see that. I put my foot in the water. Let's say I win. Oh, I hope, no guarantee. Then I can see what it's like to be on a school board and see if I really want to be a politician. And none of that would have happened if I didn't ever go speak at a school board meeting. So I guess what I'm saying is for all those people out there, you do have no idea what door is going to open. I remember when they told me cheaters, they said, oh, Alex, we're not going to hire you as the host. I was so devastated. I wasn't suicidal or anything, but I was like, what? I mean, I was just so sad, and I wasn't drinking at the time or anything. I just remember being like, fuck, that's my career. What am I going to do? And I started my podcast and nobody watched it the first month. And then the second month I got like 1,000 subs or whatever, 2,000 subs, and I'd get 100 people like you, that when you start off streaming, man, I remember that first time I had 100 people watching my stream. I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. So, I've come a long way in a short time, and there's going to be people that are jealous of that, which I understand. But there's also people that aren't like you and me that don't know how to work OBS, that don't know how to put on a microphone and talk into it. So, be jealous of the people that are having success. But if you're not working hard towards your goal, do not get mad at the people that achieve that goal before you. That's just all I got to say.
Yeah. It's all it takes is some hard work and some smart work. And I think, I think if you know your audience, you can really tap into something. So, and also,
I was lucky. Benjamin Netanyahu came from Israel and said, Alex, you're going to be the next celebrity. So Israel, they chose me as the next.
Oh, really?
I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's what they say. I'm saying, Stardust, that's what they say. They literally, Alex was chosen. He was, he got a call and they said, okay, we're going to have you, Alex. You're going to be the one. It's like, come on. It's just
so whenever people bring up these like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories to me, I always bring up like, there are tons of Indian American CEOs of companies, Indian CEOs of things in general, right? Google, Pepsi, all sorts of different things. Where are the conspiracy theories about my people? Okay, I'm waiting. Maybe I want a little bit of attention. Okay, how about that? Guys?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I know, and I mean, there's the population in India is so big, nobody talks about that. But I mean, I'm pro-Indian. I love how you want there to be some more Indian hate. I like that. And
just bring it. That's all, right? So,
Well,
yeah.
but this is my point. I do want to make this point because, they'll probably clip it or something. Listen, there are people that are in control of the world. Like I you might not agree with me this. I do believe that there's, probably people at the very top of this quote unquote pyramid of this corporation, the United States of America, that don't care about the people that are running it. I do believe that. But at the same time, just because there's people that are throwing landmines, it's your job to avoid those landmines. You can't stop those landmines. Less than 1% of the population, Stardust, has 99% of the wealth. That should be a crime. That literally 1% holds all of our wealth. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to go work and have a job and try to make a living just because they have all the money. So
yeah, I don't know that I necessarily agree with like there being an elite group of people.
Yeah.
But
I didn't think you would, but
yeah.
I actually do believe that. But I don't think it's all Jewish people. I do think there's probably some sort of group that meets, or the presidents and leaders of foreign countries like World Economic Forum or whatever. I just think that there's some sort of skull and bones type fraternity that's probably we're not a part of, that probably does make decisions, but it's not all Jewish people and it's not all whatever. They want to they want to have one villain and one boogeyman, and it's much more nuanced and complicated than that.
Yeah. Somebody asked, why are some afraid to platform the opposite side?
I'm not. I'd like to do debates. That's on my Blaze show. I want to have people that have different viewpoints as me, because I don't want to be in a vacuum. It's just like, no, because I'm not even super far right. I consider myself a populist. Listen, I'm anti-abortion. I hate abortion. I think it's murder. But I can understand why a woman would want to have an abortion. I'm not like, if a woman had an abortion, I'm not going to say, I hate you. But I'm a populist. Like it's not necessarily what I want. It's what the people want. But that's not how people operate. They operate. It's like, my ideas are the best. If everybody doesn't have the same idea as me, then they're wrong. That's racist. That's dumb. Like,
I just want to say, by the way, like we listened to your debate with JF Garepi, and that was really interesting to listen to. I've never heard somebody argue about systemic racism from a right-wing point of view. That's something that's pretty rare. So that was a really
systemic racism is real, though. I'm in the mailman business. You can just look at the crack laws.
Yeah.
Why would the crack laws be? And they're just now changing it. They just put in legislation to fix those racist crack laws from the 80s that put in that you can have a trunk full of powder cocaine would be equal to like 6 crack rocks that a street dealer would have. And you're like, what? So that, if you look at the jail population, even if you look at crime stats, you could argue, yes, black people commit more crimes. But even the same crime that a white person and a black person is charged for, they are disproportionately, found guilty for those same crimes. So that's that kills it right there. The marijuana charges, it's like if 100 black people are charged with the same marijuana crime as 100 white people, it's like 99% of the white people get out of it, and 40% of the black people get out of it. I'm just saying it's such a huge discrepancy. It's impossible for there not to be, even if it's subconscious racism, because that exists. There is some sort of thing where like, somebody did something bad to me, that was that skin color, so now I'm always going to be inherently racist. And then you might not know as a jury, or you might not know how that can affect somebody's decision. But my point is, systemic racism is real. Yeah. And anybody that doesn't believe in that, it's just, I'm sorry.
It's really interesting. I've never heard, so I've argued about systemic racism with people before. I've never heard it argued from like a more right-wing kind of point of view that like you did. And that was super interesting. What was it like talking to JF Garepi? He's like the final boss of that stuff.
Is he the final boss? That's what James was talking about. He's like, JF is a big deal. I'm like, all right, well, I guess. Yeah. I don't care. I'm an idiot. Listen, I'm not even trying to win a debate. I'm not trying to saying when I do a debate, I'm not trying to make you necessarily agree with me. I'm just trying to make people question the reality in which we're debating. Like, is that true? Is that false? I just kind of want them to look into it more. Go make your own decision. You guys interpret the information that you're getting and make your own decision. I don't necessarily want to convince somebody, trick somebody into being on my side. Yeah. So that's why I don't take these debates as, this is a debate bro or a debate girl, whatever you call yourself. That these people take these debates a little too seriously.
They do.
When it's not that serious. Yeah.
I hope also you weren't offended by me reading my mom's text to me when we were on the debate panel together. I just thought it was so funny. I thought it was funny too.
No, I thought that was very funny. That was very funny. But it's funny. I don't even drink. I'm like this. I'm just insane. A non-alcohol.
I don't really drink too. I drink like twice a year or something like that. So yeah, I definitely. But
I do seem drunk. I do seem drunk because I also,
Well.
and that's my problem too, is that I mumble words. I was always a mumbler. So people are always like, you're slurring your words, but I always kind of just mumble the end of my words because I'm talking so fast. So
Yeah.
I always kind of sound funny too
Yeah.
because I'm a mumbler.
Yeah.
But-
Yeah. Well,
But Stardust, I'm happy to call you a friend. And that's the other thing is, listen,
you.
I don't have to agree with you 100% on everything. And that would be dumb to only choose your friends if they have the exact same viewpoints as you. So I just hope that the chat or the people that are watching this can understand, like, I'm not even trying to make you hate Ethan Ralph, guys. Just look at the situation. You make your decision.
Yeah.
And that's it. I don't want to convince you to feel any sort of way.
You are genuinely one of the nicest people I've talked to, I think, and one of the most honest people I've talked to. So I really appreciate that about you. So,
and that makes me feel so good. I really appreciate that, Stardust. And you're very honest and very gracious, and you've been very nice to me. And so we're not gonna just sit here and kiss each other's butts. But like I said, is I will come on your show anytime. You can come on my Blaze show, and we can disagree graciously. Yeah, so I'm saying we can fight nice. You can be the in-house fighter with me, and we'll fight nicely about it because it's not personal. Because I personally like you as a friend, and I don't care that whatever that you have that you might be like the government more than me, and I hate the government.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you get to it then. I know it's 1 a.m. Or I don't know if it's 1 a.m. where you are, but
12:30. I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. Had a wild day today. All right, guys. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.
Thank
Stardust.
you so much.
Peace.
Have a good one. Bye.